Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love
Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly. And his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young. The game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Rama Lama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee 2024.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same 3 criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Breen. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball.
Down a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing right field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Jorge Soler. 12 home runs, 41 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .236. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 17 home runs, 53 RBI, a .266 average. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. A .299 average with 33 home runs, 88 RBI, being backed up by Matt Olson. Olson is batting cleanup and playing first with 18 home runs, 54 RBI, batting .227. Orlando Arcia batting fifth and playing short. 11 home runs, 33 RBI, batting .229. Sean Murphy behind home plate and batting sixth. 6 home runs, 13 RBI, batting .214. Ramon Laureano is in center field with 3 home runs, 10 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .197. Kid Kelnick is in left field with 13 home runs, 34 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .233. And Whit Merrifield is batting ninth and playing second. He has 3 home runs, a .207 average, 11 RBI, 1 stolen base. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Grant Holmes.
I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising. I'm Teddy Powers! I'm the man who has the ball, so that is why I am better than everyone in the world.
Grant Holmes does not have a decision, but has a 3 ERA and a shiny 1.00 whip. 33 innings thrown, 27 hits allowed, 6 walks, 33 strikeouts, and 2 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Tanner Gordon. The right-hander is 0-3 with a 6.75 ERA. 1.36 whip, 21 in the third innings pitched, 26 hits allowed, 16 strikeouts, 3 walks, 6 home runs given up. Backing up Gordon in the bottom of the first inning is Charlie Blackmon. The designated hitter's batting .251 with 7 home runs, 35 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Ezekiel Tovar is at short and batting second. 19 home runs, 53 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .282. Brendan Doyle is in center field and batting third. 19 home runs, 56 RBI, 21 stolen bases, batting .261. Ryan McMahon is batting cleanup and playing third. 16 home runs, 51 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .250. Brendan Rodgers is at second and batting fifth. 8 home runs, 36 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .275. Chris Bryant is batting sixth and in right field. 2 home runs, 15 RBI, batting .232, 125 at bats this season. Batting seventh and playing first base, Michael Toglia. He has 19 home runs, 41 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .204. Behind home plate and batting eighth, it's Elias Diaz. 5 home runs, 33 RBI, batting .271. Batting ninth, playing left field, it's Jake Cave, Captain Caveman. He has 5 home runs, 28 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .251. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Jonathan Parra. Your first base umpire is Ramon De Jesus. Second base is manned by Junior Valentine. And down the third base line, it's Quinn Walcott. We're expecting game time temperatures to be about 66 degrees. The wind is blowing in from right to left at 7 miles an hour. There is rain in the area, but it's expected to still allow us to get the game in tonight. Your Atlanta Braves come in minus 170 on the money line. The over-under is 10.5. Atlanta Braves are 60-54 on the year, 28-28 on the road. The Colorado Rockies are 42-74, 25-31 at home. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves, Rockies, Game 1 of a 3-game set. We got tonight at 8:40, tomorrow night 8:10, Sunday afternoon at 3:40. Make sure to jot those down as we are on the West Coast for the next 10 days. Country Club members, I'm already having the Kenny Powers emoji kicking in the chat for Grant Holmes. We added back the big zoo for Marcelo Ozuna. Warm up those chop arms, Country Club members, in Braves Country. Get your game face on. The critical 10-day road trip out west, our final one of the season, begins tonight.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call. Yeah. Roll call.
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, Braves Country. Good evening, IC Country Club members, GOAT. I see Charlie Pittman, Country Club member. Nathaniel Brooks, Country Club member. We see Gary the Real McCoy, Country Club member. Country Club member Willis Mathis, first pitch on the way. Yes, sir. It is baseball time in Braves Country. First pitch on the way to Jorge Solares, down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Good evening, Brian Andrews. Mark Ricardo, the 1-0 in the dirt, 2-0. Good evening, Country Club member Nathaniel Brooks. Howdy Underwater. Good evening, Willis Mathis, the 2-0 right there, slider across the belt. It's 2-1. Country Club member Willis Mathis. What you talking about, Willis? The 2-1 pitch. Swing! Fouls it straight back. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Anyone else, just jump in the chat and let us know if we missed you already. I think I saw Edward Spry and John, so good evening. I think John said he was traveling. The 2-2's foul back. We'll do it again. Daniel, good to see you. The 2-2. Tanner Gordon, the right-hander, brings it. Swing! That ball's hammered backwards. Do it again. None of the Atlanta Braves have seen Tanner Gordon except for Jorge Soler. That's why he was my pick to click. He's 2 for 3. No home runs versus him. The 2-2. Inside. 3-2. Jonathan Parr is your home plate umpire. We've seen him a few times. Not enough to get a feel on what he's going to do. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chopped over the mound. Backhanded, flipped over to first. It's going to be a 4-3 put out. 1 away. 1 down. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is swung on and swatted back foul. It's 0-1. These weird times always throw me off getting ready for the show because I'm trying to time everything up. The 0-1 swung on, swatted back foul. 0-2. He does not bring it. Tanner Gordon evens up. Hey, hello, Caesar and AY Country Club member. The 0-2. Up top, caught looking, strike 3. Riley doing the same thing he did the last time we saw him at the plate, sticking it right down his throat, not swinging on 2 strikes. 2 away. I mean, come on. At some point, someone in that dugout's got to get in his face. 2 down, and Marcelo Ozuna will come to the plate. First pitch on the way to Zoo. 93 below the knees. It's 1-0. Losing this series is not acceptable. You would like a sweep. I know it's always very difficult to sweep a team, but you got to win this series. The 1-0. Swing! That ball's lifted into left center field, going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. The Big Bear going bonzo. year, 89th RBI, 448 happy feet. As we know, the ball flies out of here in Coors Field, especially in August. First pitch to Matt Olson. Smacks the outer edge for a strike. It's over. Righty-lefty matchup. Braves lead at 1-0. That's how we do it. The 0-1. Swing. Lifts it down the line, but it'll stay in the park. Coming over, making the catch for a loud out number 3 to end the inning is Jake Cave. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I'll take one terrible beer filled up way too high so I spill most of it, and a too long hot dog on a too short bun. And do you have mustard and relish?
Yeah, it's right there between the entrance and the exit to the bathroom.
Perfect. And can I get a bag of unsalted peanuts? You know, something I would never eat anywhere else in the world?
Sure, here you go.
Great. I can't wait to have diarrhea in the stall with no door while 20 guys wait for me to finish.
When we make what the men make and get the crowds that the men draw, then we should get paid the same. Literally, the men fund our leagues, and we will still whine that we don't get paid enough. And honestly, it makes all of us look bad, because instead of being thankful for the league that we have, we go out and whine and complain about the pay. I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. I don't hear the men whining about models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain. Yes, let's not live in this delusion.
If it changes, I don't see why equality should be the only ambition for the women. If it turns out that in some sport women get more viewers watching and therefore draw more revenue, I'm all for them getting more money than the men.
Can you name 5 WNBA players? 5 female soccer players?
I mean, I can't name any.
Support
WNBA,
from the
basketball?
feminists.
I don't
we
know.
would get equal pay if we would just get the support from the feminists.
Well, let me tell you.
Name 5.
Let me tell you.
I don't even know what the WNBA is.
We need our support.
Armchair.
It was an even bet that Babe would either catch it or get killed by it. His general practice was to run up when the ball was hit and then turn and run back and then circle about uncertainly. All this time the ball was descending, the spectators were petrified with fear, and Mr. Herman was chewing gum, unconcerned. At the proper moment, he stuck out his glove. If he found the ball there, he was greatly surprised and very happy.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Charlie Blackmon, the designated hitter, is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Right-handed. Throwing Grant Holmes. The 1-0. Outside wide.
I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising. I'm Teddy Powers! I'm the man who has the ball, so that is why I am better than everyone in the world.
1-0 misses to 2-0. The 2-0 count. Right there at the knees, cutter to 1. Blackmon batting .251. Wiley veteran's been in Colorado his whole career. Thought he might be moved at the deadline, but it looks like he just wants to stay. The 2-1 swing and a miss over the top. It's 2-2. I was reading up on him around the deadline. It just sounds like that Charlie Blackmon, who could have been someone that a team like the Braves could go after for an outfield bat, the 2-2. Did he go around? Looked like he did. He did. Strike 3. Got him with the K. 1 away. But it sounds like Charlie Blackmon he's not that interested in chasing a ring. He's happy where he's at and his family and everything out in Colorado, so he looks like he's staying put until he retires. That'll bring up to the plate Ezekiel Tovar. He's having a really good season. First pitch on the way. Foul back. It's 0-1. Tovar, 282 average with a 782 OPS. The 0-1. Outside, wide and away. Cutter misses. 1-1. I was looking at some of the things on the Vegas lines tonight. The Braves over-under is 5.5 runs. On that, also, Grant Holmes, 4.5 strikeouts. The 1-1 down and away, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Righty. The pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. 2-2. On deck is Doyle. McMahon is in the hole. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He went around. Home plate umpire Jonathan Parr rang him up 2 away. There's a bender on the outer edge. He just could not hold up. Along with this being the first time we have seen their starting pitcher, of course, no one has seen Grant Holmes. The first pitch swung on, chopped over towards third. Riley's got it, backhands it, fires it across the diamond, and it's a 5-3 putout to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll grab the bats to try to add to a 1-run lead.
I accidentally spent $800 on phone sex.
I was doing my makeup in the rearview mirror and I ran over your golf clubs.
I burned a hole in your favorite dress.
You didn't get that promotion because I called your boss a fat ass at the Christmas party.
Well, I purposely dropped that bowling ball on your foot so you couldn't go to your high school reunion.
I'm 2 years older than you think I am!
Tonight, the information superhighway and one of its main thoroughfares, an online network called Internet.
The Internet, a global hookup that permits computers to exchange information. In 1981, only 213 computers were hooked to the Internet. As the new year begins, an estimated 2.5 million computers will be on the network, serving as many as 20 million people.
5 years from now, we're not going to have distinct cable and telephone industries. There's going to be one industry, and there'll be companies carrying bits, little pieces of information from point A to point B.
There are also interactive TV channels where people order movies on demand instead of driving to the local video store. High schoolers can get practice questions for the Scholastic Aptitude Test. These new services add about $10 a month to the average cable TV bill.
The Dodgers' best pitcher was Dazzy Vance, a hefty right-hander with an 83-inch reach, who had been the dominant strikeout pitcher of the 1920s. He literally had a trick up his sleeve.
You couldn't hit him on a Monday. He'd cut the sleeve of his undershirt to the elbow, and on that part of it he'd use lye to make it white, and the rest he didn't care how dirty it was. Then he'd pitch overhand out of the apartment houses in the background at Ebbets Field, between the bleached sleeve of his undershirt waving and the Monday wash hanging out to dry, the diapers and undies and sheets flapping on the clothesline. You lost the ball entirely. He threw balls by me I never even saw. Rube Bressler.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We come to the top of the second inning. 1-0 your score. Atlanta leads. Orlando Arcia digs in. The first pitch on the way. Swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Outer edge. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. 1-0 your score. A solo shot by Marcell Ozuna, if you're just joining us. The 1-1 pitch inside, missed the zone, but called for a wide inside strike. 1-2. Not quite as bad as we saw in the Milwaukee series, but that pitch was definitely off the plate. The 1-2 swing, chops it foul. Now, I will say this in defense of Parra, umpires typically have wide zones in Colorado, especially in the summer months, because if you don't, you're going to be out here all night long. The 1-2 swing, chops it foul. So that's why a lot of teams come in with the idea of being aggressive in the count. Take it for what it's worth, but it's probably what you'll see all weekend long. The 1-2. You're just joining us. Grant Holmes struck out 2 of the first 3 batters of 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 inside, almost gets him. Ball 2, 2-2. Lando Arcia batting .229 on the year with 11 home runs. Man, that was close. That almost looked like that might have got him. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good night, Irene. That was a terrible swing. 1 away. Pitch was up over his letters, and it was kind of a half-hearted, delayed swing where, I mean, you're not using that swing in wiffle ball. 1 down. Righty. Pitch to the Smurf. Chopped on his instep. It's 0-1. Yeah, Mark. I've just kind of learned if I see something in a bunch of capital letters, I don't even look at it because it's not good for your mental health. The 0-1 outside wide 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Gordon 24 pitches in, the right-hander working pretty quickly. The pitch inside 2-1. A little bit on the right-hander on the mound tonight, Tanner Gordon. 26-year-old from Champaign, Illinois, home of the Fighting Illini. The 2-1 pitch. Swing! That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back on the track. Off the wall! That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Comes off the wall, and the Smurf is going to have a triple. Who had that on their bingo card? Wow. Just inches away from going yard. It's 4:15 to dead center out there, and he hit the bottom of the wall with that ball in the right center area just before the gate extends over the right field wall, if you're familiar with Coors Field. The widest stadium in all of Major League Baseball. So everyone always fixates on the altitude as the first pitch on the way. DeLoriano swung on, fouled down the line, so 0-1. And the altitude does play a big part in it. The ball travels better here, and they've done things to try to put the ball in the humidifier and whatnot, but nothing's really ever fixed it. But along with the altitude, you've got such a wide ballpark. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Laureano down 0-2. Laureano batting 197 on the year. He's playing center field tonight if you didn't catch the intro. Kelnick is in left. But the short of it is you have to have some athletic guys out there in the outfield to cover a lot of ground. The 0-2, outside wide 1-2. You can't put Ozuna out there, and that's why Soler's still playing defense, because you want his bat in the lineup. So I think they went with the two most athletic outfielders that they have on the roster is the 1-2. Swing, chops it foul. We'll do it again. Hoping they can cover a lot of ground and Soler can just play a solid right field. But you're going to see a lot of base hits in all likelihood in this series from both sides. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Swing, fouls it back. Braves 1. Rockies nothing. We've got a runner at third with 1 out. Laureano trying to find any way to get him home. The 1-2. Tanner Gordon, 32nd of the night. Swing. That ball's hit up the middle. It's going to be right at the drawn-in infield shortstop. Tovar's got it. Flips it over to first to away. Hard hit ball, but just hit him in the wrong spot. So 2 down. It'll be up to Jared Kelnick to deliver here with 2 outs. First pitch, up high, misses. It's 1-0. Standing on deck is merry-go-round. Whit Merrifield, the right-hander. Then you go to the top of the order. So they may pitch around Kelnick with the right-hander standing on deck. But then you really work yourself into a bind. The 1-0. Swung on, swatted back foul. Fastball, 4-seamer. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. The pitch. Swing. That ball sliced down the left field line, foul. The 1-2. Righty-lefty. Gordon comes set, brings it. Good Lord, swing the bat. Right there at the knees, caught looking. You got 2 strikes on you, son. Kelenic wants to argue with the umpire, but the umpire's kind of laughing at him. I mean, it's 2 strikes. 2 strikes, you got to swing the bat.
That's a double-edged sword. It's kind of like watching your mother-in-law go off a cliff in a Cadillac. You got mixed feelings.
Now Ricky Henderson. And with Ricky Henderson, don't look away for that first pitch, because Ricky looking for a fastball right away to park in the stands in left field. He's done it more often than any player in history. All the years, if you think of Ricky, you think of the steals, but he's an all-round leadoff man. And there it goes. Number 76. He adds to his record. And that was a no doubt about it home run. Truly a big fly for Ricky Henderson, the 76th time in his career that he has as the first batter in the lineup. Led off the game with a home run.
My favorite number that's not 3 and 8 or 88 now. My favorite numbers were like 51, 47, 55, 57. And I'm like, man, we gotta go with something with an 8, and that was everybody else's opinion too. I was thinking 28. 28's it. I wanted 28. Let's be 28. And Texaco said hard no.
Armchair.
Brooklyn rarely rose above 6th place. Even their diehard fans called the Dodgers Dem Bums.
The Dem Bums became the Dodgers. That was the big name for them. Our bums, our beloved bums. But the term, when it was first used, was pejorative. In the 20s and 30s, people in Brooklyn needed the Dodgers to win, and they'd go out to the ball game, and the Dodgers would lose, and they'd lose stupidly and carelessly and dumbly, and people would come out of Ebbets Field saying, them bums, those lousy bums, they lost again. How'd those bums do today? And it wasn't until they started to win that the nickname became an admirable nickname. It became capitalized.
Welcome back. Speaking of bums, at some point, Kevin Seitzer has to take the blame on this one. First pitch on the way from Grant Holmes is a fastball right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Everybody last year wanted to pat him on the back and tell how great of a hitting coach he was when all these guys had career years. The 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. This year, you don't hear any chirps about the fact that his offense is well underperforming. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. We see too many of our batters this entire season, not a small sample size, the entire season, with 2 strikes watching that third strike. And when you're batting in the low 200s, if you're batting 200, the 1-2, swung on, chopped over towards third against the shift, and it's going to be a leadoff single for the Rockies. Kelenic grabs it quickly. McMahon with the Rockies' first hit of the day, 1 on, nobody out. And so anyways, the way I look at it is that comes down to the hitting coach, and he's got to be in these guys' ears. I just told y'all right before that happened that you're going to see some wider zones, because in Colorado they just typically don't pinch. First pitch on the way, cutter up top right there for a strike. It's 0-1. With the huge stadium, and that pitch was borderline. It wasn't like an egregious one like the one for Soler the other day. The 0-1. Swing, slices it foul. 0-2. And you always have to keep in mind when you see that box on your screen at home or on the app here on Braves Country Radio on YouTube, that's an estimated. That's not an exact science. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Grant Holmes with his 3rd strikeout. 1 away. One down, 1 on. First pitch on the way to Chris Bryant is a cutter inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty. Chris Bryant batting .232 on the year, the ex-Chicago Cub. Takes it down and away, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. The pitch, swing and a miss, 2-1. Braves lead it 1-0. The 2-1. Kicks and fires. Down and away, ball 3-1. Danger of walking Bryant. Standing on deck is Toglia. One thing you don't want to do here in Colorado, you don't want to give free passes. They can add up in a hurry with the dimensions here. The 3-1. Up top, misses, ball 4. The 2 on, 1 out. Braves up by 1, first and second, 1 out. And that'll bring the left-handed bat of Toglia. First pitch right there for a strike. Curveball. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. The 0-1. Lets her go. Down and in. Did he go around? They're going to check down the line. Third base umpire Quinn Wilcott said he did go around, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. 19 home runs on the year for Toglia, so you can't just lay one in there. The pitch. Try to get him to chase that curve again. He spit on it. That was Holmes' 26th pitch of the night. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Swing. Hammers it down the first base line. Chopping it foul towards the first base dugout. We'll do it again. On deck is Diaz. In the hole is Jake Cave. You'll remember him from the Philadelphia Phillies. He was a platoon bench player for the Phillies last season. The 1-2. Swing. That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back at the wall. Making the catch is Jorge Soler. He'll fire it into the infield. The runner at first base put the runner at second. Moves up, but there are 2 away. Holy cow, that looked like that may... I didn't think it was going to leave the yard, but I thought it might get to the top of the fence where Soler couldn't get to it. But that wind we talked about that's just blowing in, that might have saved it. The wind is blowing in that area the same as blowing in right to left at about 8 to 10 miles an hour, and that might have been just enough to keep that from hitting the top of the wall. Runners on the corners. Diaz, the hind catcher, takes the first pitch. 94 up top. It's 1-0. Diaz batting .271 on the year at .698 OPS. Elias Diaz, 33-year-old from Venezuela. The 1-0. Swing and a miss up top. It's 1-1. He spent his entire career with Pittsburgh and Colorado, about a split 2015 to 2019 with Pittsburgh, in 2020 till the present day with Colorado. He's amassed 61 home runs over that time span. He does have a .252 average, so not too shabby. The 1-1, right there on the outer edge, it's 1-2. The 1-2. Good base running, by the way, of the as they were re-showing that play. The 1-2 up top misses, 2-2, fastball. It's good hustle on the play to get back and tag the back. You know, you don't see that as much as you used to. So many guys just go halfway in case the ball drops. The 2-2. Up high, misses. Ball 3, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. I think we see another country club member. Welcome back, Brian. First pitch on the way, swung on, popped up high. Just gets past the first base dugout into the camera well. About 7 to 10 feet in. We'll do it again, full count. Cave stands on deck. Runners on the corners, 2 out. McMahon at third, representing the tying run. The payoff pitch. Caught, looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry, and that'll end the inning. He's looking back at home plate umpire Para. He was just sitting there on the last inning, got the same exact pitch for a strike. We'll be back in a flash.
Y'all, how the police gonna pull me over for texting and driving and be on a whole ass laptop in their front seat?
Hi, 1 herbal tea, please.
Which flavor?
Flavor, jasmine?
Sorry, I meant for the boba.
The little spheres of tapioca and sugar?
The tea comes with boba.
Well, it doesn't, because I see the tea right there and I see the boba over there. So why don't we just not combine them? Yeah? So I'll take the tea without the covert diabetes delivery mechanism, please.
The system won't let me do that.
Okay. Yeah, no, fine. 1 boba, please. We'll call it a mental health day treat. Self-care, right? Isn't that what people call it whenever they need an excuse to do whatever they want?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, of course you don't. Of course you don't. 1 chewy sugar tea, please.
All right. You can scan the code.
Why?
Because the code takes you to the app.
That's 2 apps today. Even though I'm already talking to the person that could just take my order right here, but I got to download an app, right? How about this? I have cash. You have tea. Why don't we just streamline things?
We don't take cash, though.
Yeah. How about cards? Take cards?
Yes.
Oh, great.
But there is a $10 minimum. There's no minimum on the app, though.
I got a short memory, just like when I was in the 3rd grade. 2 of the best years of my life.
Baseball, it's a level playing field. There's equality. All the inequalities in American life check their hat at the door. Once you're there, there's a sort of bleacher democracy that the banker can sit in the bleachers and converse with the working man next to him. Baseball exists under a kind of bell jar. It's impervious to change.
How many games are you going to win this year, Dazzy?
Well, I'm going to win all I can, buddy.
How much is that, Dad?
Well, how many would you like to have me win?
Oh, about 45.
About 45. Well, I'll do the best I can. If I win 45, that isn't going to leave many for the other players to win, is it?
That's all right.
Well, I'll do the best I can anyway for you and the rest of the boys.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Please smash that like button so we get that sign chopped down. Merrifield stands in, takes the first pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 misses just outside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Yeah, but back to what I was saying, it's kind of funny that the catcher of the Rockies is complaining about that strike call, the 2-0, foul down the line, 2-1. It was the exact same placement, not just the height, but he was in the exact same spot as the strikeout for Kelnick. The 2-1, outside wide ball 3-1. And I did look up Para. He is known to be more north-south, mainly gives the low pitches. The 3-1 pitch swung on that ball, sliced into right field, making the running catch over in shallow right field as Chris Bryant went away. Hard hit ball, but right at Bryant. 1 down. It's really ironic. I don't know if y'all have looked at this. I don't know if it's ironic, but it's strange. We'll just go with strange. That the Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies, as the first pitch on the way, is right there on the edge for a strike. It's 0-1. They are all on the West Coast tonight. The 0-1. inside, 1-1. Mets are in Seattle, and the Phillies are in Arizona. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. And yes, I know they're not all on the coast, but they're all west of the Rockies. We'll just put it that way. The 2-1 pitch, swing, chop foul down the line, 2-2 to Jorge Soler. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Braves 1, Colorado 0. Gordon, the right-hander, brings it. Caught looking, strike 3. Once again, that is the third strikeout, backwards K, against the Braves, and we're only in the third inning. And once again, it's got to come down to Kevin Seitzer. This is absolutely all on him. If he's going to take all the accolades last year, he's got to take all the blame this year. Because he was getting patted on the back left and right on the way he directed the Braves offense. First pitch on the way to Riley is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0, righty. Swing and a miss over the top. Change up, 1-1. The 1-1 count. The pitch, outside wide, 2-1. If you're wondering, the Rockies are 2 hours behind us right now. After daylight savings, they go back to 3. The 2-1 swung on, fouled back, 2-2. They're on Mountain Time, along with Arizona. The Mets will be on Pacific as they're out in Seattle. The 2-2 lets her go. Swing, rifles it down the right field line. That ball went a long way, but it's foul. We'll do it again. Deuce is wild here. You got a 2-2 count, 2 outs. The number 2 hitter for the Atlanta Braves. Here's the pitch. Swing, lifts it high and deep into right field. Going back, making the catch just before the warning track is Chris Bryant, and that'll end the inning. Braves 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. The bottom of the order and then flipping to the top for the Rockies.
It was a regular Wednesday night when a realization hit me like a truck. I don't think Dua Lipa is going to open any of my DMs.
Our football team, some aspects look like we're really ready to play. A couple of other aspects look like we just got off Willie Nelson's tour bus.
Shout out to my fitted sheet for putting all the clothes in the dryer in a damp, twisted chokehold to make sure nothing else gets dry.
I get the gist of what's going on here. I know what you're doing. You're looking down on us. A couple small market Midwest ball players. Mr. New York City with your Fifth Avenue ties and your tailored suits and your polished shoes and your hair. Your perfectly coiffed Broadway hair. Not everyone can be the next Roger Peckinpah. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a disgrace.
Armchair.
Before the 1934 season began, Dizzy announced that he and his younger brother Paul, whom the press insisted on calling Daffy, would together win 45 to 50 games. They did. Dizzy won 30 and Paul won 19.
Brother Jerome, better known as Dizzy. This is my brother Paul Dean, better known as Daffy. We're both full of ambition against those Tigers.
The Cardinals faced the Detroit Tigers in the 1934 World Series. In the fourth game, Dizzy Dean, running to second, was hit in the head with a ball fielded by the shortstop.
Rogel, in throwing to first, struck the Dean squarely in the forehead with the ball.
The throw knocked Dean senseless, and he was rushed to the hospital. Headlines the next day said, X-rays of Dean's head showed nothing.
Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Grant Home brings the first pitch to start the inning. Four-seam fastball. Jake Cave on the outer edge. It's Captain Caveman. The left fielder, righty-lefty matchup, the 1-0. Right there at the knees. Good curveball. 1-1. Tomorrow it will be Max Fried, and then they've been kind of iffy on when Schwellenbach's going to get the ball. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. He's had plenty of rest, and in theory he could pitch Sunday. But mum has been the word. The 1-2, swung on, chopped over towards second, backhanded by Merrifield. Nice play. Heading towards the second base bag, in the air, he fires it over to first, a 4-3 putout on a dime, one away. I know he doesn't hit like he used to, but man, I've been impressed with Merrifield. He's a perfect utility backup for this team. Ozzie Albies comes back. He's going to be a perfect set there. At that point, you can send Luke Williams back down. First pitch on the way to Blackman, the leadoff hitter for the Rockies, who's 0 for 1, is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing on that ball is going to get dropped into center field. That's going to be a one-out single for the Rockies. 1 for 2 now for Blackman. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, as of right now, they have him. So they've just updated this, but I'm going to have to check to make sure this is correct because this is not the Braves site. But they have him pitching Sunday. They have Schwellenbach pitching Sunday. First pitch is a slider to Tovar, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. I thought maybe they were going to do another hodgepodge, call a guy up on Sunday because they didn't want Schwellenbach pitching out here in Colorado. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. I was actually fully expecting Schwellenbach to pitch Monday, and then you go to Sale, Morton, et cetera, et cetera. But as of right now, they have Schwellenbach pitching on Sunday. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. If they go with that, then you're going to have an open spot on Wednesday, the third game of that San Francisco series, as he flips it over to first to keep the runner close by. So let's say they do that. Raylo is the 1-2. Swing and a miss up top, strike 3. Grant Holmes. Man, oh man alive. His 5th strikeout. So what I'm saying is that Holmes could get another start on Wednesday. And then when Raylo were to come back, probably during the Angels series next weekend, then Holmes would go back to the bullpen. The first pitch on the way is swung on and blasted. That ball's going to go over the fence, and it's 2-1 Colorado. Doyle did not miss that one. Sent it over the right center field wall. Grant Holmes knew it the moment he let go of it. He crouched down. No dice. It's 2-1 Colorado. So bases clear now. First pitch on the way. Righty-lefty matchup. McMahon takes one on the outer edge. It's 0-1. That shouldn't be something that's going to absolutely crush us. I mean, you got to score runs to win in Colorado. That's all there is to it. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. I'd say on average, you need to be getting somewhere between 5 to 8 runs to get a win in Colorado. So the Braves bats are going to have to do their job this weekend. If they don't, they're just sinking the ship. The 0-2 swing, slices it foul. And you would expect, this is the second time through the lineup for the Rockies. Well, remember, the Braves are doing the same thing. They're going through the lineup again with Tanner Gordon. So you'd think they'd get better swings. The 0-2. Inside almost gets them. 1-2. Leading off the next inning, you're going to have Ozuna, Olsen, and Arcia. The 1-2. Righty-lefty brings it. In the dirt, slider, evens up the count. The 2-2, excuse me. Comes set, kicks and fires. Outside wide, full count. Rockies 2, Braves 1, bottom of the third, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He went around. Did he not? Man, the way they first jumped up, I thought they were striking him out, but they checked down third base umpire, and Parra backed off his call. I guess he didn't go around, but the way he first got up, so 1 on, 2 out. First pitch on the way. Slider right there at the belt. And on the pitch, the runner goes and steals with ease. And there wasn't even a throw. That must have been one heck of a jump. Grant Holmes goes back to work quickly. We'll get the replay here in a second. The 0-1. Swung on, hit hard on the ground through the hole. And that's how you play baseball. The throw's coming home, but it'll be well late. And the Rockies lead it 3-1. Yeah, Holmes never looked back. The runner took off like a bat out of hell. So yeah, Mark, if the season ended today, the Braves would still play one more game to see who, because they've played one less game than the Mets. So they're not technically out of the wild card spot. Technically, at the end of the season, if you're a game back and you got to play the extra day the next day, then and only then. But that would come down to the season series tie with the Mets and Braves, and it would come down to the last few games that we have with the Mets, and that could be a very important tiebreaker. Runner at second, 2 outs. First pitch, 94 on the black. It's 0-1. But they definitely have to get hot. I mean, I'm not trying to argue with you, Mark. I mean, they're on the outside looking in technically right now. I mean, it's not good. The 0-1. 93 on the inside, 0-2. So what I've noticed from Parra, he is calling the inside strike on right-handers in the bottom. That's where you need to work. Stay in and stay down. The 0-2, outside wide, 1-2. You kind of have to know what the umpire's calling that night and adjust to it. And wherever he thinks that zone is, that's where you need to be aiming. The 1-2. Holmes lets her go. Outside wide, 2-2. But this is why Grant Holmes was looked upon as a reliever. It's because he can come in and do very well for the first 2 or 3 innings. But when you go a second time through the lineup, these are still major league hitters in Colorado. These are not, no matter what people think, this isn't a double-A team. The 2-2 from Holmes. Up top, misses, ball 3. So Holmes, who walked Bryant his first time up, is at 60 pitches. And you would think, if he walks another guy here, you at least got to go out there and talk to him, calm him down. The payoff pitch, chopped foul. Bryant just rolled over that one. But yeah, we're definitely in the era now where we are going to be scoreboard watching the rest of the, what do we have? The Braves have 48 games, including tonight, so 47 after tonight. So we're going to be scoreboard watching the rest of the way, and we're going to get to the out-of-town scoreboard here in a second. It's one of the reasons why I have those standings pulled up for tonight, so we know what game we need to care about. 3-2, chop foul. Do it again. Because I see a lot of doom and gloom on the social media and whatnot where people say, well, it's over, the season's over, blah, blah, blah. All you got to do is punch your ticket. You punch your ticket in, and then it's whoever gets hot. We've seen that so many times. Anybody think Arizona was going to go to the World Series last year when it all started? Hell no. If you say you did, you're lying. The payoff pitch. Swing, pops it up, high in the sky. It's going to be a can of corn. Riley in foul territory, making the catch, and that'll end the inning. Braves trail by 2. We head to 4. The heart of the Atlanta Braves order coming to the dish.
Imagine running your mouth on social media, and then boom, I catch your ass at Walmart. Hashtag cleanup on aisle 3.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
At all the calls I made on fourth down all those years, you know what my favorite fourth down call was? Punt. It was the most successful play we had.
Chuck Norris doesn't breathe air. He holds air hostage. Death once had a near Chuck experience. Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door.
How difficult is it to hit a baseball?
I don't think it's that difficult, simply because you only have to do it 3 out of 10 times, you go to the Hall of Fame. The first thing about hitting is important is you have to be fearless. I mean, if you're scared of getting hit with the ball, forget about it. I look for a fastball every pitch. Now, if you're looking for a fastball and he throws you a slider, a curveball, a changeup, a forkball, a knuckleball, a palm ball, a spitball, a screwball, you're going to hit it. You can just adjust to it. Now, if you get a young kid that's going to swing at a high pitch occasionally or a low pitch occasionally, he's going to be very aggressive. Let him do it. Don't try to make him swing at strikes only. The important thing about being a hitter is being aggressive.
Chuck Norris's calendar goes straight from March 31st to April 2nd. No one fools Chuck Norris.
That's sort of a myth going around. Ruth couldn't handle himself. How could he handle other players? Well, that's nonsense. I mean, the man drank a lot and he raised hell and he caroused, but he was a major league player for 22 years. He must have taken care of himself pretty well. And could he have managed? Who knows? Some terrible people have become great managers. Some likely people were terrible managers. He certainly deserved the chance. He didn't get it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is down and in for ball. It's 1-0. Marcell still doing Marcell Ozuna type things. He hit a home run earlier tonight, our only run of the game. The 1-0's fouled back. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Right there for a strike, 1-2. The 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, down and away, 2-2. The 2-2 to Marcell. Down and away, slider misses, ball 3, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. You'd love to see him at least get on, get things rolling here. Gordon might be a little gun shy to just leave it over the plate after what happened last time. 478 feet in the left field. The 3-2 pitch, down below the knees, ball 4. They ring him up? Oh, good Lord. Ramon DeJesus, you know, he sucked behind home plate. I didn't know he was going to get us on sitting down there at first base. Ramon DeJesus, I'd have to see a replay of that on the side. Looking at it right now. Oh, come on. What a clown. First pitch on the way is up top. First strike, it's 0-1. He absolutely held up the 0-1. Ramon DeJesus is always calling a game wherever he's on the field like he's got dinner reservations. The 0-1. Hammered down the line foul, it's 0-2. Think if they would pay DeJesus by the hour, we would get a much more legitimate call of the game. When they get these robo-umps, I hope it clears out just dumpster fires like Ramon DeJesus. The 0-2. Foul back. We'll do it again. Braves trail 3-1. Out of town scoreboard looks like this. We're at the point now. The 0-2 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Olsen has to slam on the brakes. Jake Cave did a great job of getting over there and getting it back into the infield quickly. If they were playing him a little more like those teams play him in the outfield, that would have been a double, but the Rockies actually have Olsen played to hit the other way and left. There's a huge gap in left center in the Rockies defense when the left-hander's at the plate. First pitch on the way to Arcia is up top, misses. It's 1-0. Yeah, I absolutely can't wait for robo-umps. I used to be against them about 5 years ago, but I started doing this every night. They can't get here fast enough. The 1-0. Inside. Did that get him? Must have just missed him. 2-0. Very close. I didn't know if it was going to hit his hand or hit the bat, but I don't. Somehow it didn't hit either. He was doing like a half swing to get out of the way. The 2-0, right there for a strike, slider on the outer edge, 2-1. So the short of it going forward, so you know, the out-of-town scoreboard will probably come up with the better, I guess we can call it the wild card scoreboard, but we'll only be going over scores of interest now that we're less than 50 games in. The 2-1, up top, misses, ball 3-1. Unless we get another one of those games like we got the other day, 16-7, but nobody cares what the Nationals and Angels are doing. The 3-1 pitch, runner at first. Kicks and fires. Swing! That ball's lifted into right field, down the line, and making the catch is Chris Bryant. Hit it deep, but it tailed off really quickly. Wild card scoreboard looks like this. The Padres lead the Marlins 6-2 in the 10th. Cardinals trail Kansas City 5-3. That game is in the 5th, so good news on that front. That'll bring Sean Murphy to the plate. Murphy, first pitch, inside, well inside, called for a strike. He's been calling that all night. It's 0-1. You're just going to have to deal with that, and if with 2 strikes, you're going to have to be ready to swing at that inside pitch or the one downstairs. Got to flip it over to first because Matt Olson is such a threat to steal. Phillies and Diamondbacks are just warming up. They have not started yet. Pirates and Dodgers begin at 10:10. Mets and Mariners at 10:10. The 0-1. Down below the knees. Got the call there, 1-1. That's the area he's been calling strikes, but it seems like it's more the hard stuff he's calling strikes there. Giants start at 10:15 against the Tigers. Robbie Ray on the mound, pulling for Detroit there, obviously. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Change up over the top. Earlier tonight, the Yankees and Rangers were postponed. Twins beat the Guardians in the first game of a doubleheader. The 1-2 pitch brings it. Swing, chops it over towards short. Should be an easy play. It is. 6-4 put out, and that'll end the inning. Olsen gets on, but we can't get him home. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
Yeah, well, it's already 10 o'clock in the morning. You don't drink coffee at 10 o'clock in the morning where I come from. I'll take a cold beer instead.
Perhaps something to eat?
You know, come to think of it, my stomach is rumbling a little bit. I'll have another cold beer.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Found a rattlesnake by the shed door, told Grandpa, and he said, well, you know where the pistol is. I was 8.
And with 2 out, you talk about a roll of the dice. This is it. Trying to catch lightning right now. Sachs waiting on deck. High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
Hey, does anybody else whole body start hurting as soon as you start putting work clothes on? Or is it just me?
Now, new heroes emerged from Ruth's shadow. Luke Appling, Johnny Mize, Earl Averill. Mel Ott of the Giants was so feared at the plate that he was once intentionally walked with the bases loaded. Hack Wilson of the Cubs hit even harder than he drank, 1 year batting in 190 runs. Still a major league record. One writer said that Wilson was built along the lines of a beer keg and not unfamiliar with its contents.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta trails 3-1. Yeah, in theory, Mark, if we never win again, it's not going to matter what the scores are in the other games. But I'm a dreamer. First pitch on the way from Holmes to Toglia. It's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Toglia 0 for 1, but he hit a deep ball into right field that almost went out his first time up to 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0. 2-0 count. If you're listening on radio, if you're watching us on Facebook, a couple other routes that you can go. Jump on into the YouTube chat, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. First pitch on the 2-0 pitch on the way is down and in, 3-0. If you're on the app, just go to, you're looking for Braves Country Radio. So a 3-0 count. The pitch. Down below the knees, ball 4. So, Holmes struggling here in the 4th. We know how old Snicker plays this game. He's going to squeeze every inning out that he can until the game's out of reach. So Holmes is going to have to just suck it up and get these guys out. First pitch on the way to Diaz is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Diaz struck out looking his last time up and was ticked off because he thought it was a low pitch. Perfect double play candidate. Slow-footed catcher. The 0-1. They set up inside, almost gets him. 1-1. Holmes is going to have to keep. He just doesn't do a great job of looking over at the runners. Rockies have already taken advantage of that one time, costing us a run. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Well, the thing about robo-umps, for people who may think that they're just going to have a robot sitting back there, that's not what it is. It's going to be much like the pitch comm that the pitchers and catchers have in their helmet. Or, in their catcher's helmet, in the pitcher's cap. The 1-2. Swing, that ball's lifted. into center field. Going back, that gets over the head of Laureano, and that could cause a run. Here comes a throw from Merrifield. That's high and wide, and it's 4-1 Colorado. Smoked that ball. Laureano, I mean, the one thing I don't understand about tonight's lineup is why is Kelnick not out there? He's got much more speed, and Laureano just played that ball poorly. He's probably not getting to that. But I didn't really get why. I guess maybe they think that Laureano can't play left field, so it's either put him in right and put him in center, and then I guess there is that aspect. He has always traditionally played center or right. 4-1 your score. First pitch on the way to Cave is fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Braves going to have to score some runs tonight. We know this going into this series. You got to score runs in Colorado. The ball flies here. It's a huge stadium. A lot of ground to cover. The 0-1. The outfield is playing very far back. Pitch up top for misses high, 1-1. Anything that bloops into the outfield is going to score a run for sure. The 1-1. Kicks and fires. Fouls it straight back. Chops it off the back behind him. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Down and in. Did he go around? They checked down the line. They said he did. Strike 3. It's not going to be a robot back there calling balls and strike. It's literally going to be there because they've been playing around with it in the minors, and it's literally they get a signal that tells them is it a ball or a strike, and if they overturn it, then it's going to be a situation where in a key part of the game, like they could come up for a review and whatnot. First pitch on the way is a cutter outside wide. It's 1-0. The umpire union is fighting against it. They do not want it in. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Right there on the edge, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Holmes, 78th pitch of the night, 94 misses wide, 2-1. He's calling that pitch on right-handers, but he's not calling it on left-handers. Same spot. And what it tells you is that that's where Parra sets up behind the plate. He from his vantage point, he's not getting it. The 2-1, swing, that ball's lifted into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and it's 5-1 Colorado. Charlie Blackmon with an RBI single here in the bottom of the 4th. Yeah, as far as the umpire union, the way I look at it is let him strike. Go grab some other umpires, give him the robo, and let's call it a day. What are they going to do? They're going to go umpire a basketball game? No, they're going to come back. Abreu's going out there to the mound to talk to Holmes. I mean, this is 2 innings too late. He's as passive as Snicker is. And Holmes is at 79 pitches in 4 innings. There's 1 out. Braves can still come back on this. Remember, the Colorado Rockies bullpen ranks last in baseball, but they're going to have to score some runs. They can't keep going. In Colorado, you got to get some runs scored. Jesse Chavez is warming up in the bullpen. We've seen his ERA spike a 1.5 over the last month. And in Colorado, I don't know if that's the wisest move, but here we go. First pitch on the way, slider down and in. It's 1-0. Tovar, Ezekiel Tovar, the right-hander at the plate. 281 batting average, 779 OPS. 23 years old, is one of the top prospects in baseball just last year, the 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. He's got 19 home runs on the year. 53 RBI. The 2-0. Swing. That ball's lifted high and deep into center field. Going back on the very back of the warning track is Laureano. He'll make the catch. And the throw is to second. Blackman is safe. Head first slide. Arcia applied the tag. I don't see an argument from Arcia. He was jogging off the mound like he thought he got him. But until we see a better view, it's good base running by Blackman. I'll give him that. I thought he would be going halfway. Now let's see if he got him. I mean, it looks like they got him before he ever hit the bag. They're not challenging. Of course they're not. First pitch on the way is a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Unless I missed seeing that, it looked like he got him on the top of the arm. Has he already hit the bag a bit? No. He got him on the top sleeve. The 0-1. Right there at the knees, 0-2. Who knows? Our replay guys probably went out for a sandwich back home in Atlanta. Or he took a mental health day. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Holmes gets us out of it, but not before the Rockies put a couple more on the board. We got to get the bats hot. Long way to go in this one. Let's get it.
Down a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Well, there you have it. The die is cast. The Mets are worse off now than they were when Will Palmer was their owner. Stevie Cohn, he is another false prophet, another letdown. Everything failed. The Mets, you can mark my words. Every time the Mets get a brother of a star, he's a bum. Acuna's brother, who I hear already demanding a trade, will never do anything for the Mets. This is Alex Ochoa. This is Fernando Martinez. 5-star players, 5-tool players. They're 5 suck players. They can't throw. They can't run. They can't hit. Who's going to be left on this team next year? There's nobody. They're going to be terrible. It's going to take at least 10 years to be competitive. This year is a disaster. Worst season ever. You suck. And now there's nothing left. Nothing. This is the most hopeless I've ever been about this team. The Mets are worse than the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's have more hope than the Mets.
Though it was a hitter's decade, one of the most admired players was a dominating screwball pitcher named Carl Hubbell.
Well, I was always fascinated by Carl Hubbell, Mr. High Pockets. He was a left-handed pitcher for the New York Giants, and his most famous pitch was the screwball. And he'd thrown so many of these things that his arm was literally deformed. And you could see it when he walked out to the pitcher's mound. His arm, a screwball is a reverse curve like that. He'd thrown so many that the palm was almost out when he walked out. Curious. And I was so impressed by this pitcher that I used to walk around like that when I was about 9 years old. My mother used to say, "What is wrong with that arm of yours anyway?" They finally made me stop it. It looked as though I'd fallen out a window or something, and my parents hadn't had enough money to give me the right operation to get the thing twisted back right.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail this one 5-1. Hope you're sitting down for that one if you're just joining us. Offense continues to struggle. We're out in Coors Field. Like we should be putting runs up. So we head to the top of the inning. 5-1 your score. Don't know what in the world is. There we go. Ramon Laureano is out, and now the pitch to Kelnick. That ball is swung on, and that ball is going to get dumped into the outfield. And Kid Kelnick's got a 2-out double. I don't know about y'all, but the feed on the Braves cast just came on. I don't know if that's happening to y'all as well. If you're watching on, that's why I was a little lost. They were sitting in a commercial cycle. I've got a Rockies one that sat in the background, but it's on a delay. So I saw Ramon Laureano get out, but I don't know what was going on in Atlanta. They were asleep at the wheel again. First pitch on the way to Whit Merrifield is swung on and fouled out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. Kicks and fire. Swing. That ball's lifted into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That'll score a run. The Braves have cut the lead 5-2. Whit Merrifield with a good piece of hitting. We're back to the top of the order. This is what we're looking for. A little run scoring. Knock their starter out, hopefully. Get into that Rockies bullpen. Looping base hit out there, but in Colorado, most outfielders are playing back because they got so much room to cover. Jorge Soler stands in, righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way is a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. When Soler's swinging the bat well, that's a pitch that he takes down the left field line. The 0-1. Hoping that the day off would help him, but not so much. Pitch on the way, right down the pipe, taking it all the way, shoved it down his throat. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Once again, if you're just listening on radio, Gordon is not dominant. He tops out around 91, 92 miles an hour. The 0-2, they set up out wide. Slider down and away. Tried to get him to chase. They were set up on the outer edge. That went down and over the plate, well down. The 1-2. On deck is Riley, 1 out, runner at first. Flip is over there to keep Merrifield close by. Of course, he's a threat to run. Little surprised he didn't run on that 0-2 pitch. Would have been a perfect one to go on because you know he's wanting to lean on that slider. The 1-2. Swing, fouls it away. We'll do it again. You missed the announcement in the chat at the beginning of the stream. Beginning this coming week, Braves Country Today is the 1-2 pitch. Swing, that ball is broken bat. Are you kidding me? But it will get in for a base hit. Merrifield goes first and third. We got runners on the corners, 1 out. So you would look at that as a bad luck, but honest engine, if that bat doesn't break, Soler probably smokes that in the gap. I mean, we are having the most unbelievable bad luck I've ever seen on a team. And it's not all bad luck, but if it can go bad, it's Murphy's Law out there. He got it right in his wheelhouse, and typically that ball is going shopping in the gap. Instead, he's held to a single, but Merrifield does get to third. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Anyways, the announcement is, so for those of y'all who may follow different Atlanta Braves podcasts and whatnot, the 7-5 one has gone away. They shut down shop. I've heard a couple of rumors of why it happened. Regardless, they no longer have the 755 podcast. And they used to always come on the last few years, or at least that's when I found it. They would come on and talk about the season, the series all season long, right after the series ended and looking ahead to the next one. It really depended on the days off and all that kind of stuff. Well, long story short, Braves Country is going to start doing that. We'll do that beginning on Monday. The plan is to be on about 4 p.m., maybe a tad earlier, depends on when I can get home into the studio. First pitch on the way to Riley is up top for a strikeout on 1. And basically what we're going to do is talk about the previous series, and then we're going to talk about what to look ahead in the next series. The 0-1. Swing. Pops it back foul. 0-2. So because of that, you won't get as much of a pregame show anymore, but I'm still going to do the picks to click and as we're coming in and all that kind of stuff. None of that's going away. And if we get to the postseason, we still plan on doing the Braves Country Tonight postgame reactions. The 0-2 swung on, pops it up high into right field, not very deep, making the catch as the second baseman turning around, flipping it to first. I thought Merrifield might charge in. Rogers was going away from the, but this is another thing that needs to happen. We'll talk about this on Braves Country today going forward. Tuiasosopo, man, that guy has got no cojones. There's a time where you just got to send him and make him make a play. And Merrifield's got amazing speed. You at least want him to bluff, draw a throw. That ball could go into the backstop. Anyways, Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss over the slider. It's 0-1. He was definitely looking like he was about trying to take that downtown. Marcell trying to tie this up. The 0-1. Runners on the corners. Braves trail by 3. Gordon, his 87th pitch of the night. Swing, pops it up. Down the right field line. Do it again. Well, you'll be able to get it on podcast form, but if you want to watch it live, Charlie, listen to it live, whatever, you'll want to come here to Braves Country Radio on YouTube. But I will be putting them on Spotify. It just won't be immediately. The 0-2, outside wide, 1-2. We have it set up for Spotify, and I put recordings of the games all the time on Spotify. I don't do a whole lot of them, but I do them from time to time. Come football season, we put more of the actual podcast show on there. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tui should have sent him. That's got to be at least the 34th or 35th run he's cost us this year. We'll be back in a flash.
Steak and donut sandwich, please.
You want cigarettes on that sandwich?
Oh, I look like a Mary. Yes, I want cigarettes.
I tell you what, we had another sorry practice today. These guys, I don't know if we're going to be able to beat anybody this year. Quarterbacks, they can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. I don't know if we could hit that indoor facility right there. Receivers, they couldn't catch a cold if it was the middle of February, dropping everything. Defensive backs, gosh, I wonder why they got grass stains all over their jerseys. They fall about every play. About 2 or 3 of them are falling. And our kickers, gee, it's like the Army, left, right. They're kicking it all over the place. I don't know if we can beat anybody this year. Guys, and leadership? No, we don't have any leaders out here. Guys are soft. They just can't. I don't know. Maybe I ought to give them a week off and start over and see if we can regroup and find some real tough guys out here.
And is it correct you just started identifying as female 2 weeks ago?
I'm not here to talk about my transition. Let me tell you something. I am the strongest woman this state has ever seen.
Any words for the challenger?
Good luck, Heather.
Luck is for dudes.
Armchair.
In the 1934 All-Star Game, Hubble astonished the baseball world by striking out in succession Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin.
I saw so many great pitchers, and maybe it's because of an early impression, but of all the pitchers I saw, thinking in terms of their control of themselves, as well as their ability to throw the ball, to manipulate the pitch. I would say, let's put it this way, if I had a ball game to be pitched and my life hung on the balance, I'd want Carl Hubble to pitch it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Grant Holmes, who's sitting at 85 pitches. He's given up 5 runs, fires a slider down and in. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's sliced into left field. That'll be make the catch by Kelnick. 1 away. One down. Bottom of the 5th. So we're basically going to announce what time the Braves Country Today will come on for the next episode each time. As the first pitch on the way to Rogers is fouled back. It's 0-1. Because the schedule's so goofy and I'm still doing things in the day, you can't be here on the ready. It'll change a lot, but typically, as the 0-1 bangs it off down the first base line, it's 0-2. Typically, you'd like to do it on an off day, but the Braves don't have an off day for a while. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball up top, 2 away. Like I said, this Monday, probably come on live somewhere between 3 and 3:30 is the goal. We'll put a show card up there like we do for the ball game, so it won't just all of a sudden show up. You'll have an idea. First pitch on the way from Holmes is a curveball right there at the knees for a strike to Bryant. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Chris Bryant batting .230 with a .655 OPS. Ex-Chicago Cub, a part of that 2016 World Series team. Helped bring a championship home to Chicago for the first time in 108 years. The 0-2, down and away, 1-2. The 1-2. Lets her go. Swing. Chops it foul. Yeah, Luke he's considered an infielder, but he can play the corner outfield. But when he's down on the farm, he's typically playing third base, short, and a little bit of second. Every once in a while, they'll put him at first. He plays all over, but he's considered an infielder, but he's got good speed, so he can play left. The 1-2 fouled away. By trait, when he first came up, he was coming up as a middle infielder. But the reason why he's on the team, as you can see, he's very versatile. He can play all over the place. He's a good base runner, and now they're using him to pitch. The 1-2, inside, 2-2. I didn't catch that line at first, but yeah, now I see that Grant Williams is still in there because Luke Williams isn't warmed up, or Grant Holmes is in there because he hasn't warmed up yet. The 2-2, swing, chops it foul. Yeah, he's a utility guy, but like I said, he's primarily known to play up the middle in the infield. The 2-2. Swung on, chopped over towards first. Olson's got it. He'll step on the bag. We don't get many of these nowadays. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll be back in a flash. Braves will try to cut into this 3-run lead.
If I was a flight risk, I wouldn't even be here. I could be in another country this afternoon if I wanted to. I got friends who can create false passports.
All right, I apologize for my client, Your Honor.
Apologize for your client. Don't apologize for me. I didn't rob no bank, okay? I don't want everyone in here thinking I'm some kind of bank robber, okay? I don't need the money. I'm a drug dealer.
They had played 9 years together, and Big Papi never knew Dustin Pedroia's name.
He called me Pee-wee.
Catcher comes over to me and goes, "Hey, what's up, Dustin?" I go, "Hey, what's up, man?" David walks over and goes, "What'd he call you?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "What'd he call you?" I said, "Dustin." He goes, "Why'd he call you that?" I go, "That's my name." He goes, "Oh, is that right?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. I played 1,600 games with you. They've actually said it 5,000 times. Now batting, number 15, Dustin Pedroia." And he goes, "I thought it was Pee-wee." And I'm looking at him, I'm like, "You thought my parents would name me Pee-wee?"
Armchair.
After the 1934 season, Babe Ruth toured Japan with an all-star team. 500,000 fans turned out in Tokyo to cheer the mythic hero they called Babu Rusu. Babe's big bulk, reported the New York Times, today blotted out such unimportant things as international squabbles over oil and navies. "We like to believe," said the Sporting News, "that countries having a common interest in a great sport would rather fight it out on the diamond than on the battlefield." The Americans won 17 of 18 games. Ruth hit 13 home runs. But in one game, a high school boy named Eiji Sawamura struck out Ruth, Charlie Gehringer, Lou Gehrig, and Jimmy Fox before the Americans managed to get a single winning run. Sawamura became a national hero, and the tour sparked the formation of the first Japanese professional league.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Matt Olson's going to lead us off. See if he can get on again. Sliced a single into left field his last time up. Gordon back out there. Guy the Braves should have been able to chase out of here by now is going into his 6th inning of work. Any trouble, they'll go get him. Excuse me, they did go get him. They just hadn't changed it on the screen yet. First pitch on the way from the new right-hander is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Lawrence, I'll tell you what, these road games by the Braves, they are just ridiculous. The 1-0 swing and a miss, 1-1. Justin Lawrence, right-hander, 29-year-old. The 1-1 pitch swung on, lifted into center field, going back, making the catch deep into center field is Doyle for out number 1. Justin Lawrence from Daytona, Florida, played his college ball, at the junior college in Daytona JUCO. He's been with the Rockies since 2021. First pitch on the way, sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. He comes in the 5.77 ERA, but I'm sure we can help him drop that. The 0-1. Swung on, chopped it foul, 0-2. So in the month of July, he had a 6.17 ERA. The 0-2, outside wide, 1-2. The only good month he's had this year is a 3.68 ERA in June. Other than that, 4.76 and 8. 4.76 in May, 8 in April. The 1-2 just got a piece of that, almost struck him out. But if anybody can make a guy with a ballooned up ERA look like Cy Young, it's Kevin Seitzer. The 1-2. Pitch on the way, down and away, 2-2. Standing on deck is Sean Murphy. In the hole is Laureano. Braves just need to start cutting into this lead. Long way to go here, but you don't want to put it all on at the end. The 2-2. Swung on, lifted into left field. Lazy fly ball into the glove of Jake Cave, 2 away. Two down. Sean Murphy comes to the plate. First pitch on the way to Smurf is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Outside wide, called for a wide strike. 1-1. So when you're given a pitch that's 2 inches off the plate on the right side and 2 inches off the plate on the inside, that's a very difficult plate to cover. The 1-1 swing pops it up. Sean Murphy. Well, it continues to be Sean Murphy. That's going to be F3 in your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. Why we traded Contreras. That's a book in itself.
I don't know which one of y'all need to hear this, but just because you got your taxes back don't mean you could call out of work. You need to take your ass to work. We grown. We got responsibilities. You can spend that money on whatever you want. Just take your ass to work.
Throughout baseball history, there's been a wide variety of colorful personalities. And then there's Joe Charbonneau. When he was younger, he made money participating in bare-knuckle fights. In his rookie season, he took the league by storm and won Rookie of the Year after batting .289 with 23 home runs and drove in 87. Stories about him both on and off the field are legendary. He never wasted money on bottle openers. He would just use his eye sockets to open the bottle. He was never one for doctors, once fixing his broken nose with pliers and stitching up a cut with fishing line. During a spring training game in Mexico, a random stranger attacked him with a pen. A song named after him called Go Joe Charbonneau reached number 4 on the 45s chart in Cleveland. As fast as his star rose, it quickly burned out after a series of back injuries limited him to just 70 games in his last 2 seasons.
He was comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. He was a good two-strike hitter. A lot of hitters aren't comfortable with 2 strikes, you know. Then they go into emergency mode. They don't want to strike out. That used to be the old mindset. Nowadays, as Pete said, they go up there hacking. That's a pitcher's dream, is a guy that...
Atlanta had 4 guys on their team last year struck over 150 times. Now, we all know Mike Trout. He struck out 184 times last year. He was MVP in the American League.
I will say that I've had thrills before, number of them. Something like hitting a home run in Chicago that time. The Lord was with me when I called the shots. I can't go on forever. Somebody's got to take my shoes and take my place. But you can bet your sweet life that I won't play until I drop, but I'll play until I damn near drop. Thank you.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. For you football fans, Cover Country. It's back tomorrow. It's our last show before the season starts. Going over fantasy football. We're also going to go over-under future odds out in Vegas. Jesse Chavez will come in to pitch. Braves trailing 5-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Jesse Chavez, who started off the year, the microscopic ERA, fell on some hard times. A few times I felt like that they left him in too long to just eat innings, and it really ballooned his ERA. First pitch on the way is a cutter outside wide. It's on 1. Chavez, the 0-1, swing and a miss, 1-1. The month of July had a 5.11 ERA. Before that, he had ERAs of, back in April, 1.08, May at 1.46, a 0.87 ERA in June, 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. Then it ballooned to 5.11. And here in the month of August, 3 outings, he's got a 4.5. The 1-2. That ball is going to get dropped into right field. That's down for a base hit, and it's a leadoff single for the Rockies. Gave up 2 runs on the 6th against Milwaukee, August 6th. But the one that really did him in, July 29th, he gave up 3 earned runs against the Rockies in 1 inning. First pitch on the way to Diaz is chopped off the plate, foul. Oh, no, they're going to call him out. They're going to say that ball was in play, and the catcher, Diaz, kicked it with his foot on accident. He didn't realize it was in play. Bud Black, the manager's coming out there to argue with him, but I don't really know what he wants to argue with him about. It looked pretty plain and simple there. He just didn't see it. He swung through it and spun around, and the ball was laying out there, and he accidentally kicked it. The ball rolled into fair territory, and just as it rolled into fair territory, he kicked it, almost moonwalking towards the left-hand batter's box. So 1 on, 1 out. Double play can get us out of this. Jake Cave, the number 9 hitter. First pitch on the way, cutter at the knees. It's 0-1. But in the month of July, he threw 12 innings and gave up 7 earned runs. 3 on that Milwaukee outing. 0-1 outside wide, 1-1. But he had 4 other outings. And it typically looks like most of the time it's when they try to extend him past that 1 inning where he really has his problems this year. Pitch in the dirt. The Cave, 2-1. Which shouldn't shock anybody. I mean, Jesse Chavez is 40 years old. The 2-1. Down and in, 3-1. He's about to turn 41. I didn't realize that. I thought he already had his birthday. He's turning 41 in 2 weeks out of San Gabriel, California. The 3-1 pitch, nowhere near the zone, ball 4, way outside wide. So he was gifted an out. Now we got runners on first and second, 1 away. And the top of the order, Charlie Blackmon coming to the plate. First pitch on the way to Blackmon is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Right there on the edge, 1-1. Again, a double play can get you out of this mess. And runs can come in bunches in Coors Field. We've seen it a million times. The 1-1 swing chops it up the middle. It'll be a 4, 6, 3, almost inning-ending double play. But Charlie Blackmon still has pretty good speed. He beat it out, but there are 2 down. Runners are now on the corners. Charlie Blackmon, 38-year-old out of Dallas, Texas, was busting it down the line. And you got to respect that. A guy who's on a team that's, 25, 27 games below 500? And he's still hustling. First pitch on the way is a cutter out wide. It's 0-1. Might have been gifted that one. It's one of the reasons why I wanted Charlie Blackmon in the last couple of deadlines, because I've always liked his attitude and the way he always gives a professional at bat. The 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. The other thing about Blackmon, one of the reasons why he's always been rumored to come to the Braves, he plays college ball for Georgia Tech. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Jesse got out of it. Let's go get some runs. If we're going to be here, let's cause some problems. We'll be back in a flash.
So we pull up our canoe, and there are like 400 Indians with arrows aimed right at us. I'm starting to freak a little.
Actually, it was probably closer to 300.
Okay, thanks, Clark. So I say, we come in peace.
Well, no offense, but it was actually Sacagawea who said that.
Right. Well, luckily we brought plenty of beaver furs.
Pelts.
Do you want to tell the story, Clark?
Here is the time that Babe Ruth fought the wall, and the wall won. July 5th, 1924. In Ruth's first at bat, he slapped a double to right field that moved leadoff hitter Whitey Witt to third. In the fourth, with 2 outs and a runner on third base, Senators first baseman Joe Judge connected on a pitch that went down the right field line. Seeing this, Ruth sprinted to the left, hoping to end the Senators' scoring opportunity. As the ball dropped foul into the crowd, bam! Ruth ran full force into the wall and dropped unconscious to the grass. Immediately, both the Yankees trainer and uniformed police hurried to the Babe's aid. At first, they thought he had hit his chin on the concrete, but they soon discovered that he had been knocked out by a jolt in the solar plexus. He also hurt his left leg at the hip. Ruth would eventually come to after 5 long minutes. Aside from the noticeable limp, you would never know he was hurt. In his next at-bat, in the top of the 6th, he would double off the center field wall. Ruth would finish 3 for 3, and the Yankees would go on to win the first game 2-0. After the final out of the second game, Ruth was diagnosed with a bruised pelvic bone. Despite the news, he wouldn't miss any time, and he would go 3 for 4 and belt his 22nd home run of the season the very next day.
Ruth's Far Eastern tour was a triumph. When he got back, he learned that the Yankees, team that he had built, had decided to dispense with his services and had no intention of making him a manager. He turned down an offer to run their best farm team as beneath his dignity. Instead, he joined the worst club in the National League, the Boston Braves, lured by a vague promise of becoming manager the following season. The Braves never really meant to give him the manager's job. The main hope was that his mere presence would boost receipts.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high and deep by Laureano. It's going back on the track. Get out of here, baby! That's what I'm talking about. Ramon Laureano, his 4th home run of the season, 387 happy feet over the right field wall just past the scoreboard. Here in Atlanta Braves. Cut it to 2. Let's cause some problems. First pitch on the way. The kid Kelnick is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Outside wide 2-0. If you stepped away for a second, Ramon Laureano, a solo shot over the right field wall. The 2-0 to Kelnick. Swing, pops it up. He was underneath that one. Hopefully that gets out of play. They're chasing it down the left field line. Just out of reach. Good hustle by the third baseman, McMahon. Just couldn't quite get over there. It was a sinker on the outer edge, and he just went with it, didn't try to do too much with it, and shot it over the wall. And a Braves fan wearing a Braves jersey, it actually caught the souvenir in right field. So that's pretty cool. I've always been amazed. The Colorado Rockies is the 2-1. Swing, that ball's laced into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. We'll bring the tying run to the base with Kid Kelnick and his speed at first. The Colorado Rockies, we all know, and I know a lot of people don't pay attention to this. Colorado Rockies have been terrible pretty much their entire existence, right? They've had a couple of years here and there where they've been competitive, but all in all, right? Do you ever pay attention to the Colorado Rockies attendance? They keep that place jam-packed all year long. That is a sports town, my friends. We all know the Broncos. They're going out there and talk to Lawrence. We all know the Broncos draw a ton of folks, but that's football. They've been there forever. We get it. But the Colorado Rockies, they are the only team of the expansion era, Colorado, Arizona, Tampa Bay, Miami. They're the only ones that absolutely bring the house. I've always respected that from the Rockies. You don't see Rockies games. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, especially late in the year when you kind of figure, well, it's over. Let's go watch the Broncos. No, they are packed. They're packed in there tonight. First pitch on the way to Merrifield. It's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. And just for someone who's lived for a lot of my life, I've lived around Tampa Bay Ray and Florida Marlins fans. They are not baseball fans. Colorado Rockies are fans. The 1-0's well inside, 2-0. I've kind of lived all over, but I was born and raised in Jacksonville, and I've moved back. So anyways, I'm on the First Coast, and we're stuck in the Florida Marlin, Tampa Bay Ray market, the 2-0. Inside, that ball missed, but they called it for an inside strike again to the right-handers. It's 2-1. Whit Merrifield 1 for 2 on the day. He had a RBI single. Mark's bragging about practice football. All right, you go for you, Mark. The 2-1. Swung on, chopped foul. We'll do it again. Unless you're betting on that, I don't know why practice football. No one you're watching is playing on Sundays. It is cool to put it on in the background when you see it. And you're like, all right, we're just a few weeks away from football season. 1 on, nobody out. The 2-2. Now, college football begins 2 weeks from tomorrow. How about that? The 2-2. Kicks and fires. Swing, sliced it foul. And I bet you if he had not been given those inside strikes, Merrifield would not have swung at that pitch. But he feels like he has to protect about 19 to 20 inches of a 17-inch plate. The 2-2. Lawrence brings it. Swing, that ball's hammered down the left field line, but foul. Man, oh man alive, would that have been a run. If he could have kept that thing straight, Kelnick would have been dancing into the dugout. Merrifield probably would have stayed at second, but he may have gotten to third. The 2-2. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pretty good at bat by Merrifield, but eventually wore him down, one away. But once again, when you give that, I mean, for folks who may not have played much baseball, whatever, it's a big difference when you expand that zone 1 to 2 inches on each side of the plate, and you're talking about having to cover about 20, 21 inches of a 17-inch plate. It just makes it impossible. They're going to go bring in the right-hander. We'll step away for a second. Braves have the tying run coming to the plate in the form of Jorge Soler.
Cutest diner right beside my neighborhood. It's called Waffle House. It goes for this antique chic view, and props to the designers because they definitely made it feel old. The menu had several different breakfast options. I asked the waitress what's her favorite thing. She said Xanax, but I just went ahead and went with the All-Star Special. I asked her what paired best, and she gave me a Mr. Pibb. It was awesome. The bacon was a little undercooked, so I asked the chef to throw it back on the grill for a bit, and she said fight me. They're so quirky there. Great experience. 10 out of 10.
Rio de Janeiro to here, do you know how far that is?
6,842 miles.
Well,
Look.
do you know what kind of mail system they must have?
The Brazilian mail system, government run, with an annual budget of 27,485,000 pesetas.
How do you know these things?
You mean I'm right?
I swear to you, some white people are so extra, because if they see somebody they don't know or ain't seen in a while, they'll be like, Tom, is that you? Well, shove a stick up my ass and call me a corn dog. How you been?
In 1936, 2 new stars made their first appearances in the big leagues. The first was a 17-year-old fastball pitcher from Iowa, whose father had built him his own practice field. He was signed by the Cleveland Indians, and in his very first start, he struck out 15 St. Louis Browns. A few weeks later, he set an American League record by striking out 17 A's. Then, he went back home to finish high school. His name was Bob Feller.
We went to the World Series in 1934 in St. Louis and saw the Gas House Gang. And I thought right then and there that I was only 15, that Major League Baseball wasn't that far away. And not being cocky, I had a lot of confidence. My father gave me a lot of confidence. I never was afraid of a batter on a mound. They may hit me well, but I was never afraid of them.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves down by 2. Jorge Soler steps to the plate with a runner at first, 1 out. First pitch on the way from Chavilli, the right-hander. This is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Chavilli comes in with a 5.79 ERA. Pitch. Swing. That ball's belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lamma, ding-dong. That'll cut into your electric bill. We got Soler power today, baby. Let's go. 397 happy feet, and your Atlanta Braves have tied it up. Ding-dong, that pitch is dead. Soler, man, I'll tell you what, that was all Soler. What I mean by that, he just muscled that out of the park. It barely got over. It hit what looked like a Santa Claus right in the face. Well, a Santa Claus in the offseason while he's not wearing his winter weight. That ball smacked the top of the fence and then smacked him in the face. Austin Riley, the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Angel Civilli is from the Dominican Republic. He is 22 years old. Rookie season, he's got 9 innings so far in the major leagues. And his ERA is the 0-2. Swing, that ball's laced into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. The go-ahead runner standing at first. Time to get the lead here, Braves country. Quit screwing around. There's another guy out there that looks like he could be the cousin of the dude got hit in the face, but he's wearing a Braves jersey. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. I know they're in Colorado, and half the people out there have their hair down to their ass, but it's just kind of funny. The bunch of hippies out there running around high-fiving each other. The 0-1. Swing, chops it over to third. It's going to have a hard time getting out of the glove, but it's going to be a 5-4-3 double play nonetheless. Well, that'll kill the rally, but not before your Atlanta Braves have tied this baby up. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch, Braves country.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. All right. We out to the ball game. Hey, we out to the night. Find me something up. Only
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. AJ Minter comes on. Lefty-righty matchup to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Doyle, the number 3 hitter, who's 1 for 3, stands in. The first pitch on the way, down and away. Cutter misses. It's 1-0. One of the most difficult things about pitching in Coors Field, if you're not familiar with it, it's not just the elevation of the way the ball flies, is the 1-0, down and in, 2-0. It's also that players talk about this all the time, but the 2-0 swing pops it back foul, 2-1. If you're a pitcher, and if you could just think about the fact that you're normally pitching at a much lower level, so there's more moisture in there, the whole 9 yards. The ball moves different in Colorado. The 2-1, outside wide, 2-2. So they talk about like it's really difficult for guys who've not pitched out there before to go out there and try to throw their breaking pitches and whatnot because they don't bend the way they normally do. The 2-2 swung on. That ball's laced into left field. That is going to slap up against the wall, and it's a leadoff double for the Rockies. And that's why they're normally high-scoring games. That's it. That's the whole kit and caboodle, is because they normally don't have as much control over the pitch and the ball flies further. And then you add the fact, like that ball that was just hit right there, in most stadiums, actually all other stadiums except for Colorado, that ball is easily foul. But it's a much wider field, so that ball just hit the chalk line. That thing in Atlanta, it's foul by a few feet. Several feet, actually. Lefty-lefty matchup, runner at second, nobody out. See if they may be going. McMahon, the cleanup hitter, stands in. The first pitch up top. It's 1-0. Ryan McMahon, 1 for 2 with a single, a run, a stolen base, the 1-0. Right there at the knees, 1-1. A 1-1 count. Braves and Rockies tied up at 5 apiece here in the bottom of the 7th, trying to keep that go-ahead run from scoring at second. Minter starts to go, then he turns around, doesn't offer to second. He does that quite a bit just to try to keep the runner honest. He's got a pretty good move to second base. The 1-1 swing, that ball's lifted into right field, going high and over the outreach glove of Soler. The runner had to hold up. Here comes the throw, and he will score. And the Rockies have taken the lead once again in a seesaw affair. It's 6-5. That's why you got to so a double and an RBI. First pitch on the way, swatted back foul, four-seam fastball. It's 0-1. So that's why you have to keep scoring in Colorado. You can't let off because the dimensions are so much different. And there's no rules in Major League Baseball that your dimensions have to be X, Y, and Z. But you can see it if you're used to it just by even an untrained eye. You can see how much wider their outfield is. That's why the Colorado Rockies tend to try to draft and bring in outfielders that have speed. It was a little surprising that they went and got Chris Bryant in free agency a couple of years ago, the 0-2. And the dirt gets away, and the runner's going to hold Thankfully, he could have easily scampered down to third. Not sure why he didn't. 1-2. Ball was in the dirt, but that ball was heading towards the first base dugout. It would have taken a perfect throw by Murphy if McMahon was paying attention. I think he might have just second-guessed himself and then couldn't go. The 1-2 in the dirt. Changeup misses 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Braves trail by 1, bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Outside wide, changeup misses, ball 3. And there's really here's the thing, there's no way to get ready for this series in Colorado. You hear managers and players talk about it all the time, is the fact you go into Colorado, you just know you're going to have to try and score because the pitchers normally are going to struggle. And in a series like this, the payoff pitch, swung on, chopped it foul. But you can see, because Minter's been pretty good his last several outings, but his command's all over the place. I guarantee you he would tell you, he's not going to blame it on it, but I guarantee you the elevation's got a lot to do with it. The payoff pitch from Minter spins around again. This time doesn't offer the ball at all. The payoff pitch. Minter brings it. Outside wide, didn't get the call. Ball 4. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. 1 run is already scored. On this date, 1905, a telegram was sent to Ty Cobb. It read, "Come at once. Stop. Very sorry. Stop. Your father dead in a shooting accident. Stop. Hurry." That was a telegram sent to Ty Cobb by Joe Cunningham, a longtime hometown friend. Ty Cobb receives a telegram sent by his longtime hometown friend Joe Cunningham informing him that his father, Professor W.H. Cobb, had been killed in a shooting accident the previous night. The incident will profoundly affect the life of the 18-year-old from Augusta, Georgia, becoming a sordid affair after the police revealed that it was his mother that pulled the trigger, and that was in 1905. Chris Bryant steps in, first pitch on the way. He takes a massive hack and misses. It's 0-1. Yeah, I've always said that Coors Field is where pitching careers go to die. The 0-1, up top misses, 1-1. 1-1 count. The full story about that Ty Cobb thing is his mother claimed that she thought his father was an intruder. The story unfolds as the 1-1 swung on, chopped over to short. Arceus got it, fires it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out, 2 away. Runner gets down to third, but there are 2 outs now. The whole thing of that story, we'll probably dive more into it one of the Once Upon a Pastimes during the offseason, is that the mother shoots the father who's sneaking in, who supposedly was sneaking in to try to catch her cheating on him, and she thought he was a prowler and killed him. Now, there's been a lot of stories back and forth on what really happened. Was she in there cheating on him and she shot him? Nobody knows. Yeah, this is long before DNA tests, right? First pitch on the way to Toglia is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. And no one's ever proved whether or not she was actually having an affair, so he could have built the whole thing up in his head. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled back. 1-1. 1-1 count. he was quoted as saying much later in his life about the incident. The 1-1. Fastball right there on the inner cut, much closer to the plate than any of the ones he's been giving for a strike, and he calls it a ball 2-1. So I don't know what in the hell Jonathan Parr is doing. The 2-1, I'm starting to think that he might have taken the Rockies in the points. The 2-1, down and in, 3-1. No, the father was out of town. That's the key to the whole thing. The father was out of town. He was coming back and was trying to catch her in the act. The 3-1 chopped up in front of the mound. Minter's got it, flips her over to first, and it is a 1-3 putout that'll end the inning. We go to the 8th, trailing by just 1, which ain't a whole lot in Colorado.
It's unacceptable. We shouldn't let him get away with it.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, let's
give him
stab
a
him.
piece of our mind.
Funniest baseball team names of all time. Number 9 from my home state of Ohio, the Akron Rubber Ducks. Number 8 are the Traverse City Pit Spitters. Number 7, the Burlington Sock Puppets. The marketing part of every minor league baseball team has to be the only department that never has to get drug tested. Number 6, the Danville Dans. Their mascot isn't even a mascot. It's just a guy whose name is Dan. Number 5 are the San Antonio Flying Chanclas. What is a chancla, you might ask? It's a flip-flop that abuelas throw at their grandchildren when they are misbehaving. Number 4, the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Number 3, the Missouri River Motorboaters. The Bismarck Larks are changing their name to this for one day. They said it was because they want to honor their boat-loving fans. Sure, yeah, right. Number 2 are the Carolina Disco Turkeys. What is a disco turkey? I don't care. It doesn't matter. Take all of my money. And number 1, the Florence Yalls. What is their team name? A yawl. What is a yawl? A water tower. What?
It was a ton of Gen Xers that just unanimously agree that the good old days were better. Give me a real concrete answer on why the good old days were better than now.
I think it was easier to be happy a long time ago. I think that today it's expensive and difficult for people to be happy. It was much easier to be happy. You could sit on a porch in a rocking chair with your friend and a glass of lemonade or iced tea. Back in the day, it was just easier to be happy than it is now.
Imagine Bob Feller, 17 years old, in the small farming town of Van Meter, Iowa, throwing against the proverbial wall of the barn and having a fastball that could beat any in the major league at that time. What was particularly extraordinary when the young feller at 17 came into the major leagues, and what people forget is that his fastball was so great because his curveball was extraordinary too.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We'll definitely have to do a deeper dive on the whole thing, because there's a lot of different angles of that whole Ty Cobb thing. And the more you listen to it, the more you're not sure what the hell really happened. Like you'll convince yourself that she did it on purpose, and then 2 minutes later, you're like, nah, I think she thought it. I think it's legit. First pitch on the way to Olson's down below the knees. It's 1-0. And you'll seesaw back and forth because, the problem is there just was nothing to dispute evidence back then. The 1-0, chop foul, 1-1. You were literally, unless you were just really bad at the crime, you were really going off of eyewitness accounts back then. Little 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Outside wide, 2-1. This offseason, when the baseball offseason hits us, planning on doing something new this offseason with the Once Upon a Pastimes, which I know y'all have heard them before, and it's the 2-1 pitch is out right there on the outer edge, 2-2. He's been calling that wide strike, he's been calling that wide strike to Braves players all night long. So this offseason, Wednesday nights is when we're planning on doing, because there's no football on those nights. Planning on doing early Wednesday evenings, like around 7 o'clock, and doing a Once Upon a Pastime here on the channel. The 2-2, swung on, chops it over to first. Should be an easy play. It is. Stepping on the bag is Toglio, 1 away. we're going to do them live here on the channel on Wednesday nights. And basically we take something in the world of baseball and dive into it. And we're going to do them live this year for the country club, where you can chime in and, you know, even call in and whatnot, and just kind of discuss on what's going on during these once upon a pastimes. The first pitch on the way is up top for a strike for Orlando Arcia. It's 0-1. Kinley, your pitcher now, the right-hander. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. He's got a 6.44 ERA. It's from Plantation, Florida. Was drafted by the Marlins in 2013 out of Berry College. That's a new one for me. I've never heard of that one. The 1-1. Swing, chops it over to third. It's going to be an easy 5-3 put out. 2 down. Realize how much different this Braves offense is from last year, because when Orlando Arcia is your number 5 hitter, I mean, what are we doing? Last year, he was the number 8 or 9 every single game for good reason. Sean Murphy comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Swung on. That ball is ripped into left field. That's down for a base hit. Takes a funny hop, and it looks like he's going to be able to get to second. So it's a 2-out double for Smurf. See if they may want to pinch run for him. With Darnold available on the bench, that's exactly what they're going to do. So they're going to send Eli White in. A little surprised they're sending Eli White in with 2 outs. I would have thought that they may have saved Eli for the 9th inning, but he's coming on. Thought they might go Luke Williams on that one. But anyways, Eli, he might very well get a start in this series with his speed. They could use him in the outfield. Ramon Laureano, who's got to hit a home run already, stands in. First pitch, up top, misses. It's 1-0. It's a weird bounce that came hot, carrying off the third base bag and took a funny hop. That's how he ended up out there, out to second base. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Slider on the edge. 1-1. 1-1 count. Kinley this year has thrown 50 innings. It's been with with Colorado since 21. The 1-1, down and in, 2-1. Standing on deck is Kid Kelnick. The 2-1 comes set, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss over the top, 2-2. Laureano trying to find any way to get on down to his last strike. Might need to shorten up that swing a little bit. Just make sure you put the ball in play. Funny things can happen. The 2-2. It's got to be looking for that slider. They set up out. Brings it. Outside wide, just misses. That was a tight slider. That was almost a cutter. 3-2. Might be a little fortunate he called that a ball, because he's been calling those wide strikes all night long, and that was right in that vicinity. It wasn't a strike, but that hasn't stopped him all night long. The payoff pitch brings it. Down and away. Did he go? Ramon De Jesus. I mean, we'll be back in a flash. That guy is just...
Am I the problem?
Of course you are! Gen X Hotline, what do you want? My son saw another student with a vape pen in his backpack. Should we tell the teacher or go straight to the principal? All right, let me check the book on that. Teacher or principal? Okay, it says, tell him not to be a snitch and to mind his business. Are you serious? Yep. Have a great day.
I was blackballed for 2 years. I couldn't get a job. And because of that, I lost my big, beautiful house in Los Angeles, my shiny Mercedes, all my stuff. And as you can imagine at the time, I was really crushed. They thought that I was some religious zealot, but to me it was just that I didn't think it was the right thing to do. And also, I really love my wife. And as I've said, and I'll say it a million times, these lips are meant for one woman.
Eyes closed. I have a surprise.
Did you do the dishes?
I said surprise, not miracle.
Gen X Hotline, what do you want?
Hi, I work from home, and with the kids still home on summer break, I am not getting anything done.
Okay, so step one, have you tried locking them out of the house?
Okay, but like, what would they eat all day?
Okay, do you have any, like, honeysuckle or blackberry bushes in your neighborhood?
Yeah, I think so. Why?
They're gonna be fine. That's what they're gonna eat.
Really?
Yep.
What about the bathroom?
Oh, no, they're just gonna poop in the woods.
What?
You're good. You're welcome.
Wait.
I never want to hear the term Uncle Stevie again. It was all a lie. As with everything with the Mets, always teasing, never pleasing.
Baseball stories are so various, and they swap characters in them, but the way I heard it, Lefty Gomez himself, a pitcher, faced the 18-year-old Bobby Feller. The first one came over, and the umpire called it strike, and the second one came over, called it strike, and the third one came over, and the umpire called it strike, and Gomez said, I thought that last one sounded a little low.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Seattle leads the Mets 2-0. Dodgers all over the Pirates 5-0 in the third. Detroit 1-0 over the Giants in the third. We head to the bottom of the eighth inning. Max Fried on the mound tomorrow. If the Braves can't come back and rally, he'll try to stop the bleeding tomorrow. 8:10 first pitch, a little earlier. First pitch on the way from Pierce Johnson, who has pitched in Colorado. It's where we got him from. It's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. I would think you'll see him at least twice in this series. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Outside wide 1-1. Now, the only thing about that, I do remember when we got him in the trade, there was a big talk about how his numbers away from Coors Field were much better, but honestly, that's just about any pitcher in baseball. There's been very few pitchers that have actually pitched decently out there. The 1-1 hit hard on the ground through the hole, and it's a leadoff single for the Rockies. The hind catcher's on. Wonder if they may pinch run for him. Doesn't appear so. I guess they'll leave him in the game. Earlier tonight, the Astros double up the Red Sox 8-4. Padres beat the Marlins. Cubs over the White Sox 7-6. First pitch is a curveball up top for a strike from Pierce Johnson. It's 0-1. Jake Cave, the number 9 hitter, who's 0-2 on the night. Brewers 8-3 over the Reds. Twins 6-3 over the Guardians. And then the Twins completed the sweep 4-2 over the Guardians in the second game of the doubleheader. The 0-1 misses 1-1. 1-1 count. Pierce comes set, kicks and fires, swing, lifts it foul down the line. $9:45 tomorrow. Country Club, or excuse me, Cover Country for the Country Club. See that live. You can see it right afterwards if you're not a member. We'll be talking football, and then we won't be on next Saturday because the following Saturday we will be every Saturday at 8:30 to 10 for the entire football season. The 2-2 from Johnson. Swing and a miss. 97 top shelf. One away. It's funny that Arizona-Philadelphia, I mean, Yeah, it's hard to pull for Philadelphia, but you really need Arizona to lose because we're not catching the Phillies in the division. I'm sorry, that's cooked. We got to worry about wild card teams. Pierce Johnson, first pitch, curveball up top, snapping curveball to Charlie Blackmon, the leadoff hitter in the order. Is up top, first strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Lets her go. Swung on and missed. 0-2. You lose this one, you have to win Saturday, Sunday. You have to win this series. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The 0-2. Swing, pops it up. High down the line. Bouncing into the dugout on the third base side, which is where the Braves call home this weekend. Do it again, 0-2. Because I was looking at it going into this 10-game series, 3 against Colorado in the end, 3 in the Angels. You got 4 against a tough customer in San Francisco. Bare minimum, you got to go 6-4. You lose the first one, you're really putting yourself behind the 8 ball. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away. Right now, as it stands, A.J. Minter will be on the hook for the loss if the Braves can't come back. But fret not. First pitch on the way, curveball, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Atlanta will have Kelenic, Merrifield, and then Jorge Soler to lead off. Anybody gets on, we'll have the heart of the order. The 0-1 from PJ. Up top misses, 0-2. No, 1. Okay. I give up on the home plate umpire. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. If you missed the talk earlier, supposedly, according to ESPN, but they haven't updated it yet on the other site, it'll be Schwellenbach on Sunday. The 2-1 pitch, kicks and fires. Swing, slices back foul. Yeah, if they don't make the play, you got to do something. I'm sorry, but Seitzer needs to go. Tui's got to go. I mean, Tui's got to be the first one fired. That guy is just worthless over at third base. The 2-2. Up top misses, 3-2. I don't think they'd fire Snicker, but hell, maybe he'll retire. I mean, he's at that age, that point in his life where he may just be like, man, I don't know if I want to listen to this anymore. Go right off in the sunset and let young blood in there. Give it to Travis d'Arnaud, let him be a player manager. The 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. So we get one more at bat. Come on, Braves country. Let's cause some problems here in the top of the 9th.
My issue is that anytime I'm sick, I feel like I sound like Miley Cyrus. Like it's got that rasp to it, you know what I mean? Like it's got that Miley Stewart in that bronchitis.
Hey, last week we were talking about the mouth.
Right.
My girl said you was right, bro. She did some research and she said it's mice for plural, man.
Hey, bro, I was just trying to help my bro out, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Man. Me personally, mice doesn't sound more natural, bro. But hey, you was right, homie.
Right.
So when you learn something, you got to pass it down to the youth, right? I go to my sister's house. I holler at my nephew. He 5. I'm bringing it down to him. I'm like, hey, I said, little man, it ain't mice, this is, bro. It's mice, right?
Right.
Mouse, mice.
Right.
Goose, geese, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Moose, meese. It's like, that's
Wait, you said moose and what?
Moose. For one is Moose.
Moose, yes.
And for two is Meese, right?
You said moose and meese?
Yeah.
No, meese is not a word at all, actually. It's already plural and singular.
Damn, man, what's wrong? Why are you doing this, bro?
I didn't create the English language, bro. That's just what it... I didn't make the rules.
How you know, bro?
Because I went to school.
Armchair.
Always you look for heroes. Always the people look up to see something that represents them, that is larger than they are, and if it's perfect, that they might become. As a young boy, when I was taken to my first game at Yankee Stadium, my God, Yankee Stadium, talk about awesome sights. To see Joe DiMaggio, to whom you could relate without knowing anything about San Francisco or anything else about him, but he was a baseball player. He didn't seem to have any other credential but his ability, and that was sufficient to make him a great hero and a great success, and therefore a great inspiration.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. I see the question about how long Snicker's been with the Braves since 1980. Now, it hasn't all been in coaching roles, but he got released by the Braves in 1980. And he stuck with them. First, he was like a roving instructor. Anyways, long story short, he's been in some coaching capacity since 1980. So what is this, 45 years now, I guess? But he was playing with the Braves before that. So, yeah, he's probably 50. I'd have to double-check that. First pitch up top is fastball. Did he go around? Kid Kelnick standing in. Righty-lefty matchup as the closer comes in. It's 1-0. The 1-0, outside wide, 2-0. Vodnik is the closer. Victor Vodnik, if he sounds familiar, used to be a starter. And he was drafted by the Braves in 2018. The 2-0 fouled down the line, 2-1. He's bringing it triple digits. It's got a 4.05 ERA this year. Pitch on the way. Swung on. That ball gets dumped into right field, and we got the tying run on. Kid Kelnick, another base hit. One on, nobody out in Merrifield. Come to the plate. John says 50 years, 2,000. He wasn't a Braves manager or coach with the big club back in 95. He didn't come up till 2016. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss for a strike. It's 0-1. But I like the idea of blaming him for everything. Do better. The 0-1. Righty. Merrifield 1 for 3 on the night. The pitch shows bunt. Good bunt. I mean, masterful bunt. Throws it down to first. That's a close one. I guess they just got him by a hair step. I like to see a replay only because Ramon De Jesus is on the call, and he's blind as a bat. Does look like they just got him, but I'd like to see a slowed down replay. That is the third or fourth time since we've gotten Merrifield that he, for those of y'all listening on radio, it's like he catches the ball with the bat and then just lays it where he wants to put it. Such a and it really is an art form. Jorge Soler stands in, first pitch, swing, and fouls it back. It's 0-1. Soler hit his first home run with the Atlanta Braves this season, his last time up. He's 2 for 4, his 13th home run of the year. It just snuck over the left field wall, tying the game. The 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Tying run at second with speed. 1-1 to Soler. Inside, 99 miles an hour, misses 2-1. Now, that is the pitch he's been calling as a strike on the inside. So if you get 2 strikes, the problem is you can't take that. But with 1 strike, Soler was able to take it. The 2-1. Swing, slaps it foul. 2-2. Now you got to protect the plate. Anything close, this guy's been calling it, and you can't leave it into his hands. Don't pull the sightser and just sit there and watch it go by. The 2-2. Runner at second. Riley on deck. The pitch. High and inside. Almost got him. Close shave. Full count. Seriously doubt there was any intention there. He throws about like on that pitch. I mean, he let it rip almost like the way Luke Jackson does. Luke Jackson doesn't even look at the plate when he throws, which has always baffled me. The payoff pitch brings it. Swung on, chops it over the mound. It's going to be a 4-3 put out. Did he hold the bag? I guess he did. 2 away. Jorge Soler moves the runner to third, but now there's 2 outs. So a wild pitch, an error, a broken bat single, a seeing eye, Texas leaguer, anything would get the run home, but you can't get it home without getting a clean. Wouldn't you love a balk here? Righty-righty matchup. Riley 1 for 4 the first pitch. Swings at the first thing he sees. Slices it down the line. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Comes set. Rocks and fires. Swing, pops it up. Chase that one out of the zone. 0-2. An 0-2 count. Braves down to their last strike. Kelnick inching his way towards the plate. Rockies fans are on their feet. They set up way outside wide. The pitch in the dirt. Good block by Diaz, 1-2. Man, if he sets up like that again, you almost want to just send the runner and see if he throws another one in the dirt like that. Kelnick's got the kind of speed that could beat that play. The 1-2. The pitch. Swing. Just got a piece of that. Fouls it. Do it again. Rockies 6, Braves 5. Rockies fans on their feet. Looks to be another packed house here in Colorado. They average around 30K. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Braves lose another tough one, 6-5. Another game where you felt like you should have had the win, and instead, the Braves' losing streak continues. We have not won since last Friday night. The losses are piling up, and the finger pointing is going to start. They got to get a win tomorrow to be able to salvage this series. Max Fried is on the mound tomorrow, and we'll probably get more clarity tonight, but as of now, they're saying Schwellenbach will pitch Sunday. So we'll see if that happens. But it feels like that Colorado's different. And I know that you're going to score more runs. Both teams are. But you feel like that you're wasting home runs when you get them from Soler and you get a home run from Ozuna and you get one from Laureano. You feel like that's going to be a W. I'm still going to say that Grant Holmes was asked to pitch way too long in this game. He's young. He's inexperienced. Well, he's not that young, but he's inexperienced. He's never pitched in Colorado, and you asked him to go 5 innings. Giving up 5 runs really isn't that bad in Colorado on 5 innings. He was asked to go way too long, and that could be the difference in the game. Yes, we know that Minter gave up a run. I get that, but that happens, especially in Colorado. Braves lose a tough one. We will see you tomorrow, 8:10 first pitch. Ugh, this is getting tough. For you football fans, we're back at it tomorrow morning, 9:45. NFL, college football, and fantasy football, we'll talk it all tomorrow morning.